Hello, my fellow boxing enthusiasts. Welcome to the 35th edition of Boss Boxing Predictions. This time I have less fights to talk about, and so I think this video will be shorter than the last one. Okay, well, the most interesting fights this weekend are happening in UK, and let's start with the first one. It is a Commonwealth and WBC Silver Super Lightweight title fight. It's between Josh Taylor of Scotland and Ohara Davies of Wales. Both guys are undefeated, but Davies has 15 wins while Taylor has 9. Davies is the favorite in this fight because in his last fight in March he destroyed Derry Matthews, which was a very impressive performance because he just didn't let Derry get a start at all. He didn't let him get off at all. And that was his first true test. This is a fight for a Commonwealth title because Davies is the WBC silver champion, but Josh Taylor is the Commonwealth champion. Taylor is a little less, perhaps, tested than Davies, but he certainly has punching power. He has won 8 of his 9 fights by knockout. In his last fight, he beat a guy called Warren Joubert by a TKO in the 5th round. He was the South African champion. In the 6th, sorry. And yeah, the only time he went the distance, it was in an 8th round fight. It was an 8th rounder against Alfonso Oliveira. Anyway, even though Taylor is on home ground and he's 5'10", while Davies is Davies is 5'7", yeah, so he has a height advantage. He's also a year older than Davies, Josh Taylor, and but Davies has so far shown himself to be, the hotter prospect, perhaps. But yeah, so Davies is the favorite, of course, and I expect him to win this fight. It is a 12-round fight. Somewhere down the road, perhaps it will be a TKO for Davies, I think. Somewhere between the 6th and the 10th round, I think. Yeah. So that was that fight. Then the next fight that may be interesting is taking place in Hackney, in the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in London. And it's between Bradley Skeete, perhaps the second best, surely, British welterweight. And because, well, Kell Brook is no longer fighting welterweight, and Amir Khan is, yeah, we don't know what will happen to him. But yeah, Bradley Skeete, who won his last fight only a month ago, actually, against Shane Singleton by TKO 5. He's fighting Dale Evans, who was perhaps, unfortunately, most known for stopping Mike Towell last year in a tragic fight that ended with Towell dying afterwards. He has before lost to Sam Eggington by unanimous decision. He put Eggington down and he was stopped by Larry Ekundayo in TKO 5. So he, in, interestingly enough, he doesn't have many knockouts. Only 4 in 13 13 wins, but he appears to have some power and he's an aggressive fighter. But still, I think Skeete will school him for sure. And whether it will go the distance, yeah, I think most likely it will, because Evans has only been stopped once, and yeah, against a hard, well, pretty hard puncher anyway. So it was, yeah. Bradley Skeete will win definitely by, I think, either a unanimous decision or a late stoppage, perhaps. Either is good for betting. Yes, and then the aforementioned Larry Ekundayo is fighting Gary Corcoran on the same card. Actually, uh, it is also a welterweight fight. Corcoran, he has fought at 154 actually before, but since he was stopped by Leon Williams last year, he has gone down in weight, and now this is his second fight and first true test at welterweight. Ekundayo, he's undefeated at 12-0, and yeah, but he's 35 already, so may not have such a long career. So far, you know, yeah, but he hasn't really fought that many good opponents. I see one of them had a record of 16 and 80 wins, 80 losses, sorry, 16 wins. So Gary Corcoran is the favorite, I'd say. But he's not really a puncher, so I think he will grab a decision. Yes. And let's move on. There is another card that I don't want to talk about at Bethnal Green. It's not really anything, so no good fights, no interesting matchups. But let's see. Yeah, in Russia there is Yekaterinburg on Sunday actually. There's a quite good card. And the main fight is also a welterweight fight between Dmitri Mikhaylenko for Russia and Qudratillo Abduqaxorov from Uzbekistan. And this guy Qudratillo, he beat the guy that gave Mikhaylenko his so far only loss. It was Charles Manucci. He stopped Manucci in the first round, and yeah, while Mikhaylenko lost to him by a close decision mostly. Yeah, Mikhaylenko really looked. Otherwise, he looked and looks quite impressive. His record. He stopped Johan Perez, who is a rather good contender. He beat Karim Mayfield, and in his last fight, he stopped Brady Prescott in the 7th round. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know really that much about either fighter. All I can judge them on is their record. So, based on their records and how they did against the same opponent, well, I'd say that strictly mathematically, it's not really doesn't always work in practice. Yeah, practically, but this guy, Abduqaxorov, he is the favorite, I'd say. He is 23 years old, but he's a really good puncher, it seems. And while Mikhaylenko is more like a boxer who can stop an opponent if he hits him many times enough. He's 31, well, 5'9". It doesn't say how tall this Qudratillo is, but anyway, yeah, this may go two ways. Either that another sensational knockout victory for Abduqaxorov, or a unanimous decision, or a decision victory for Mikhaylenko. So I think I would pick Abduqaxorov to win because he beat this guy, who was never stopped before, and this Charles Manucci only had two early losses on points, and then he beat Mikhaylenko himself, who was undefeated, of course. So in Russia, which was very hard to do, of course. But then this guy, Abduqaxorov, he just destroys him in one round. That was really, and it was in Singapore, so it was a neutral territory. Yeah, I think Abduqaxorov will win by stoppage somewhere. I don't know. It may be a quick one, or I'd say somewhere in the middle rounds, most likely 6th round. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. And then the other fight on the same card is between Denis Lebedev, who is somewhat, well, past his prime now for sure. He's 37. He lost his last fight and the world IBF title to Murat Siev. Uh, it was a split decision, but anyway, he was knocked down once also and lost to the much younger man. And this guy, Mark Flanagan, he's fighting well. He's from Queensland, Australia, 27. He doesn't look like a serious challenger because he's just beaten some unknown, guys, really fringe contenders, and he's already lost to four of them, and he was stopped by one of them. So Lebedev should be able to win this fight, yeah, for sure. I think by a knockout. Rather early, also 4th round, something like that. Yeah. Well, there are not so many other good fights to talk about. Tomoki Kameda, he's fighting now as a featherweight, and this fight is on Monday, actually, July 10th, and he's fighting Juan Morales. He's a young Mexican fighter who was beaten by Lee Haskins in the title fight last year. He was he has fought even at welterweight, I see, but he also at bantamweight, and this is at featherweight. So I think Kameda will win. This is a 10-round fight. I think he will win it by unanimous decision. Yeah, Tomoki Kameda, and I guess that is all for now. Let's just take one more look. Yeah, there's a somewhat interesting fight in Australia between Blake Caparello and Dmitri Sukotsky. And these guys are somewhat, more like yesterday's challengers and contenders. Especially Sukotsky. He used to be a good contender, but while Caparello is perhaps most known for knocking down both Kovalev and Andre Durrell, he hasn't really beaten anyone except Alan Green. He was just a semi-good fighter. So yeah, it will most likely be a boring fight, and Caparello will get the decision in the end. Yeah. So Kiko Martinez is also fighting some bum. So that's all, I think, pretty much. So see ya.